Hello, Doctor Who fans, and welcome to the Who Universe Easter Special Part 2 for this year. Very happy Easter Saturday to you. Now, of course, this weekend, I believe... Oh, hang on, let me turn this down a bit. But yeah, I believe this weekend was supposed to be the weekend where we were supposed to get the new series of Doctor Who. Which is this very day, Saturday the 30th of March, which is also funny because that was also the same date that the revival series came when Doctor Who first came back in 2005. So if Russell, Russell's original plan would have been us coming full circle to how the revival series started, which was Saturday the 30th of March, but because the special effects weren't ready for that day, it meant that it would have to get pushed till May, which is understandable. But don't worry, we do have some Easter surprises, some Easter stuff treats that are going to be coming up for Doctor Who throughout the weekend. It's probably been saved for Easter Sunday, knowing my luck, because BBC has the habit of saving some things for like the main day of Easter sometimes, so it's probably been saved for that. But then again, it could be saved for today. Who knows? But the whole point of this video, however, despite the fact we don't have any new episodes of Doctor Who till May the 11th, is, well, let's put it this way: there's a lot of new Doctor Who fans are probably coming on board into the Whoniverse. Yes, the Whoniverse, as Russell calls it. There's a lot of fans coming into this whole Doctor Who universe now, and most of you probably haven't explored the Whoniverse on BBC iPlayer, which I personally believe is probably the best package of Doctor Who content that you will find on any streaming service. And I'm not even kidding. Like, this is probably the best package, especially in the UK. The best package you're going to get in the UK, probably better than BritBox. If you're somebody who didn't really like paying a certain amount on ITVX to get access to BritBox, this is probably not only a more affordable way of accessing Doctor Who, but probably the best place to see Doctor Who, because it's BBC's property. Of course, it's going to be on their platform, isn't it? Their streaming platform. But trust me, there is a lot of content here for, especially if you've got a friend who's trying to get into Doctor Who or they haven't seen Doctor Who before. This is definitely a good place to be before the new series, because there's a lot. There's a lot here to digest. A lot. So the whole purpose of this video, really, or this special, is to sort of introduce some Doctor Who fans who may be unaware that this is a thing on BBC iPlayer, or probably haven't noticed the Whoniverse up to this point, or may have just been a fan recently and doesn't even know that all you need is a BBC account, and you can go to BBC iPlayer and you can access all of this. Yeah, pretty much for free with a BBC account, pretty much. I thought we'll have a bit of a tour here of the Whoniverse on BBC iPlayer and sort of bring it out there more in the open, so that more people can put eyes on this, and then who knows, it'll probably get bigger and we'll probably have more Doctor Who content added to this eventually, because I do believe there'll be some more archive stuff added here eventually, because I can't imagine them wanting to not update it regularly. They're going to make sure to keep this updated as much as possible, so that it pleases Russell and the Doctor Who fans in so many ways. So let's begin, shall we? Let's begin this whole Whoniverse, and make sure to also to subscribe, and also be sure to share this video, because especially if there's a lot of Doctor Who fans who haven't seen the Whoniverse on BBC iPlayer, this is definitely going to be an experience for them when they see this. So, alright, so I'm obviously viewing this through a console, obviously, because you can access BBC iPlayer on console. And for those of you who have got a gaming console and you want to access the Whoniverse, essentially what you would do is you will want to you would essentially want to go to Drama and Soap, and then on the features section right here you would find the Whoniverse, which is a basically right there, day and date. It's basically pretty much the second feature on the feature section, and you'll find the Whoniverse, and you'll have access to all the Doctor Who content in the Whoniverse section of BBC iPlayer that they've created specifically, which, by the way, they made this for the 60th anniversary, and it's going to still be here. It's going to keep growing. There's going to be more content in here for you to check out. So we might as well take a good look. And of course, I'll be leaving links on the video description for those who have BBC iPlayer on mobile, which will take you directly to the Whoniverse that way. And the same on the web as well. There'll be a link and you'll go straight there if you're viewing this video through the web browser on your computer. Then you'll basically get access it that way, because BBC iPlayer is also on computer and on phone and tablet. So you'll be able to just simply go there by using the link. If you have the app on your phone, your tablet, or even if you're going on the computer. Anyway, so let's talk about the contents of this, right? So there's so many sections to the Whoniverse that is definitely worth checking out here. So the first section here that's being highlighted here is essentially the Doctor Who 2023 and beyond. Essentially, this section is looking at the new episodes of Doctor Who. As you will see here, they've got all the latest episodes of Doctor Who. You've got Star Beast, Wobble Under, The Giggle. These are all from the 60th anniversary. And then The Church on Ruby Road, as well as an opportunity to see the teaser trailer they released during Christmas last year for the new series, which I'm surprised they haven't put out the newer trailer out yet, but I would imagine they will. In the next few days, they'll probably update it. So, nevertheless, you can watch all the new episodes of Doctor Who right here. Some of the latest episodes of Doctor Who, including from the 60th anniversary, and of course from the recent Christmas special with where Ncuti Gatwa had his first full-on episode as the new Doctor. So yes, this is going to be where you'll want to go on Saturday the 11th to see the new episodes as they start rolling out onto BBC iPlayer. Alright, now we come to this section here, which is the modern adventures, as they call it. Well, this is actually the revival series of Doctor Who. So essentially, this is the series that started from 2005 and sort of wrapped up, sort of closed its brackets in 2022 with Jodie Whittaker. So essentially, in this section, you can watch episodes from the last 13 series of Doctor Who, which basically made up the revival series. And in this section, you will have episodes from Series 1, Series 2, and then we have Series 3, Series 4, Series 5, 6, 7, 8. You get the drill. There's all 13 series that made the revival series, featuring basically Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, and of course you've got Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker, all featured in these series, so you have a chance to basically relive all of the episodes that made up the last 13 years of Doctor Who, pretty much. That made the revival series of Doctor Who and then brought the show back into the public eye, and it basically has evolved since 2005. With quite a few great companions along the way as well. And also it includes the specials in here as well, which it includes the Christmas specials, including the Christmas Invasion, the Runaway Bride from Series 2, Voyage of the Damned in Series 3, and then you've got specials in Series 4, which includes The Next Doctor, Planet of the Dead, Waters of Mars, and The End of Time Part 1 and 2, obviously David Tennant's original regeneration. And then Series 5 with the A Christmas Carol. We also have the Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe from Series 6, which I'm not particularly a fan of, but maybe it will interest one of you. Then we have and then we also have the whole Snowman, as well as the Time of the Doctor, the Day of the Doctor, which is the 50th anniversary episode they did. And then, of course, you have series 8 with Last Christmas with Peter Capaldi, and then series 9 with the return of Doctor Mysterio and the Husbands of Riversong. Yeah, so there's a lot. There's a lot of, and then obviously Peter Capaldi's Farewell, Twice Upon a Time is on here, and also the New Year specials as well are featured as part of the package. So you'll get the New Year specials alongside the Christmas specials if you want to see any of the New Year specials that Jodie Whittaker did during her free series as the 13th Doctor, of course. So there you go. So that's basically what this section is. It's essentially the revival series of Doctor Who. Basically, you'll get 117 episodes that made up the revival series of Doctor Who when Doctor Who came back to our screens from 2005 all the way to the end of Jodie Whittaker's run in 2022. And then, of course, the third page here, this is for people who haven't seen the classic series. Yes, this section specifically for the classic era of Doctor Who, the era of Doctor Who that basically began the whole Doctor Who legacy from 1963 to 1996. And let me tell you, there's a lot of iconic episodes in this package. There's a lot. Obviously, you also have the colorized Dalek episode in here, which they released for the 60th anniversary, but minus the color episodes, there's a lot of black and white episodes in here featuring the very first Doctor, William Hartnell, including the Daleks, the Edge of Destruction, and to name some of the popular episodes that are on here. You've also got some animations from the DVD releases that have been added here, like the Reign of Terror, if you want to see the animations of the Reign of Terror, or if you want to just see the Telesnap version, you'll have the opportunity to watch that as well, if you fancy, or actually this is the actual live action, so they've basically focused on the animated version. And then Season 2, yeah, so there's a lot of iconic episodes like the Dalek Invasion of Earth. You've also got the Crusades. They've got 2 episodes of that you can watch, which is the episodes that were returned all those years ago. The Chase, where the Doctor and friends are trying to get away from the Daleks. And then we have the Time Meddler. That was with the Meddling Monk, which was really cool. It was a pretty decent episode, may I add. You've also got animations for Galaxy 4 from the DVD release, Dalek's Master Plan, and then we have the Guns Fighters, which was, it gets sort of mixed reviews by a lot of fans. The War Machines, I love the War Machines, definitely worth a watch. A really, really, really good episode set in London in 1966. And then we've got the 10th Planet, which was the introduction of the Cybermen. Power of the Daleks, the introduction of Patrick Troughton, and obviously the concept of regeneration began with the 10th Planet and the Power of the Daleks. We also have some episodes from the Underwater Menace, including some Telesnap reconstructions of those episodes. The Moon Base, Macra Terror, you got Faceless Ones. Evil of the Daleks gets a lot of praise in the Doctor Who community. And then you've also got Tomb of the Cybermen. Let me tell you, Tomb of the Cybermen has been praised by a lot of Doctor Who fans as being a very, very good Cybermen story from the black and white days, because it's just very popular. And they've also just added the animations for the Abominable Snowman just recently. If you want to see the animations from the recent Abominable Snowman DVD release, the Ice Warriors, they've got the animations of that in there, as well as the actual episodes. The Enemy of the World, which was recovered during the 50th anniversary, as well as episodes from the Web of Fear that you can watch. They've got the animations for Fury from the Deep with Victoria Waterfield's Farewell, along with a reconstruction of the some episodes and some episodes of Wheel in Space you can watch. So yeah, they've got some Wheel in Space stuff in there. And And then you've got another episode that was very popular, the Mind Rubber. The Invasion was also quite popular with a lot of fans who love the Brigadier and Unit, which is the introduction of that organization. Seeds of Death, and of course Patrick Troughton's Farewell, the War Games, that kicked off the whole the end of the black and white days of Doctor Who. But essentially there's a lot of Doctor Who in here. There's a black and white Who as well as colour Who with John Pertwee, featuring his very popular story, The Spearhead from Space, and then you've got the Silurian stuff that happened following that, and then the Ambassadors of Death. That was a bit of a James Bondy style of episode that they did. Inferno gets a lot of praise because it takes place in the parallel universe. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of John Pertwee in here that is worth checking out. You got the Three Doctors, where Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee came together for an adventure, and a little bit of Hartnell, even though this was at a time when he was very, very ill. Time Warrior with the introduction of Sarah Jane. Then you got Tom Baker's episodes are all in here. There's episodes from Peter Davison as the Fifth Doctor. You've also got the entirety of you got the Five Doctors in here. So yeah, it features the first to the Eighth Doctor. This entire catalogue is basically, there's a lot of good episodes in here, trust me. And there's also some extras here, including the Founded Galaxy 4 episode, the episodes 1 and 3 of Faceless Ones, and episode 2 of Evil of the Daleks that was brought back to the BBC archives years ago. So you have a chance to see the actual live action versions of these episodes if you want to, if you prefer that way. But yeah, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of classic Who to look for, check out here. That's definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen any of the classic Who. There's a lot of great stories in here that just gets praised a lot by the community. So definitely, if you have the time, definitely check all this stuff out, because there's a lot of great stories in here that just shows you what Doctor Who was like back in the day, and gives you a concept of what the classic Who was like. Compared to the Doctor Who we get today, and you see the difference. So yeah, and as you can see there, 657 episodes in this page. A lot of classic Doctor Who to check out in this section. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Then we come down to see the Doctor Who Unleashed. This is the section where they're looking at behind the scenes for the new era of Doctor Who, which includes the Children in Need. They've done one for the 60th anniversary with all 3 episodes, and then they've done one for the Church on Ruby Road with Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. So yeah, so you get a chance to see what it was like for Ncuti to begin filming his first episode. First full-on episode as the new Doctor, which is really cool. So yeah. So that's Doctor Who Unleashed, the new behind-the-scenes show, which, by the way, will also return on May 11th. And then you've got Doctor Who Confidential, which is the previous behind-the-scenes program for Doctor Who. This is the behind-the-scenes program that they had for Series 1 and Series 1 to 6. And they've got a lot of episodes in here, including the... obviously, the episodes related to the return of Doctor Who in 2005. We also have the obviously the introduction of David Tennant, the Cybermen. They've got stuff about the Writer's Tale. They've also got a section about music and monsters behind the scenes of a musical performance they did in Cardiff that year. And then they also have stuff about, obviously, they've got episodes regarding Martha Jones and the old an older 10th Doctor, which he had lots of makeup for at the time. And also, they've done a section where they look at David Tennant looking at his personal account of the making of Doctor Who. And then, of course, you've also got And then, of course, you've got all the specials that they've done as well, including the 11th Doctor special, which is definitely worth a watch, by the way, where you get to see the interview between where they first interviewed Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Definitely a great Doctor Who Confidential they did to hype up the 11th Doctor back in 2009 before David Tennant whilst David Tennant was filming his farewell episodes his sort of 10th Doctor farewell episodes. And then, of course, we have Series 5, which introduced Matt Smith during that year, and we got to see the introduction of Matt Smith. So that was pretty cool that they revamped the series for... and, of course, we also had an opportunity to go behind the scenes with the... and the fact that Karen Gillan was doing racing for Doctor Who Confidential, which was quite funny. So yeah, there's a lot of Doctor Who Confidential from those 6-ep series where they have a lot of chat about the behind the scenes of Doctor Who. It's definitely very fascinating. Some of the stuff that they did to make it is a lot to take in. And then, of course, we have the Children in Need special for Doctor Who, which they did with the 14th Doctor, David Tennant. You can see that on BBC iPlayer if you want to. They've got video commentaries focusing on the 60th anniversary, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly the 6th. Okay. They've got Starbeast, Giggle, and the run, and they've also got the Church on Ruby Road as well. So that's cool. They did do a Christmas special of the commentary. That's nice. Where they go behind the scenes of the. They just talk about the episode whilst doing commentary, which is really cool. So that's what they did for BBC for BBC iPlayer, which is good. And then they've got Imagine, Russell T Davies, the Doctor and Me. This is a special Imagine episode they did where they chat with Russell T Davies, and they even caught up with Ncuti Gatwa during this documentary as well, which is nice. The Tales of the TARDIS, which I'll show you here. Essentially, the Tales of the TARDIS lets you catch up with old characters from the past, like the 5th Doctor and Tegan, Jamie and Zoe, the 6th Doctor and Perry, 7th Doctor and Ace, and then you have Vicky and Stephen, and then you have Joe and Clyde. Now, Clyde obviously was a friend of Joe's from the Sarah Jane Adventures, which they talked about the 3 Doctors, which was really interesting. So, yeah. And then, of course, we have Torchwood. If you fancy checking out the series of Torchwood, there's basically 4 series of it. So you have Series 1, Series 2, and then you've got Children of Earth, which is the series I saw, which was very, very good, and then Miracle Day kind of ruined it for me, in my opinion. I just think it was a very weird way of doing Torchwood, but it was basically set in America. I mean, it was good, it was set in America, it's just the storyline just was a bit of a bizarre one, in my opinion, but there you go. So that is the Torchwood section, if you want to catch up with Torchwood and see Captain Jack dealing with crimes, including a cyber woman. Yes, there was a cyber woman in Torchwood. Can you believe it or not? It's basically more adulty than Doctor Who, if that makes sense. And then we have Sarah Jane Adventures, looking at all the episodes with Elizabeth Slaton. Obviously, she'll be missed by millions of Doctor Who fans. And for the new fans who don't know, she did pass away in 2011 when Matt Smith basically did his second series, which was really, really sad. And she's always going to be remembered as one of the Doctor's most popular companions. And she's done a lot of adventures. She's dealt with the Slovene. She's she's even caught up with the Doctor as well. She had a chance to catch up with the Doctor for the wedding of Sarah Jane, which was a very, very popular story where they actually got David Tennant to appear on the series, which is good. They got a Jadoon, And then they had an opportunity to bring a Santaran into the series, which was good. They also had Matt Smith appear as well. Yeah, Matt Smith got a chance to appear in the series along with Joe Grant, who would eventually join Sarah Jane along with the 11th Doctor to deal with the Shang Chief, the Shang Chef. I probably butchered the pronunciation. And then you got the Midnight Man, who was also pretty bit of a creepy villain for Sarah Jane Adventures. So that was crazy. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in series 4, and then of course series 5 was the series which kind of saw the passing of Sarah Jane, and they were only able to do 6 episodes for Sarah Jane's final season of the Sarah Jane Adventures, when there was supposed to be a max of 13 episodes, well, 12 or 13 episodes pretty much, but they were unable to do the rest because she died after the filming the 6th episode, which is very unfortunate. But there you go. So that is that was the Sarah Jane Adventures for those who want to see Elizabeth Sladen at her very best in her own adventures away from the TARDIS, which is great. And then, of course, we have Class, which is the that one-time spin-off that was supposed to be good. It's basically based on Coal Hill School, and it's not particularly the best, but it could have been better. I mean, the 12th Doctor does appear for the first episode, and then after that, it kind of went a little downhill a little bit. It was good, but it just fell apart after that. So yeah, that's basically that's pretty much the Class spin-off, if you're curious about it. And then, of course, we have Talking Doctor Who, which is a special that they did for the 60th anniversary, where David Tennant had the chance to talk about his memories of Doctor Who, and even look at behind the scenes of Tom Baker's regeneration into Peter Davison, which was really cool. And he also got to see some behind the scenes of Peter Davison's regeneration into Colin Baker, and yeah, a lot of you basically got to see some behind the scenes stuff and talk about like the Cybermen, Daleks, etc., and what scared him, which was that creepy looking clown from the Deadly Assassin from Tom Baker's days. And then we have the Doctor Who at 60, a musical celebration. This is a concert that Joe Wiley did for Doctor Who's 60th anniversary for BBC Two, where they celebrated the music of Doctor Who, featuring the debuts of Ruby Sunday's theme and the 15th Doctor's theme, as well as the new Doctor Who theme tune as well, made their debuts as part of this concert. And then we have K9 and Company, which was the one-time K9 spin-off that they did in the 80s, and basically kicked off the whole Sarah Jane and K9 partnership for Doctor Who, when the Doctor gave K9 to Sarah Jane. So that basically kicked off that whole partnership. And then we have Doctor Who Dreamland, which is an animation from 2009, which was one of David Tennant's last projects in 2009 for Doctor Who, before he would eventually return years later. Then we have Infinite Quest, which was from Total Doctor Who. That's the other animation he did, featuring his Series 3 companion, Freema Agnew, playing Martha Jones. And then they've got a documentary looking at Delia Derbyshire, who is obviously the basically responsible for the sound of the TARDIS and the Doctor Who theme. Yes, she's that important. She was very much a part of the creation of the Doctor Who theme, along with the sound of the TARDIS. So if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have heard those beautiful sound of the TARDIS all the way up to this very day. And then they've got Doctor Who at the Proms, which was the special BBC Proms specials they did for Doctor Who, where Doctor Who had a chance to go to BBC Proms to celebrate the legacy of the show, where they did a special in 2008 where this was their first ever concert. 2010, they would go back there, hosted by Karen Gillan and Arthur Darfield, who played Amy and Rory. And then 2013, they celebrated the 50th anniversary by going to the BBC Proms by featuring Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman, who appeared as the 11th and Clara Oswald for the 50th anniversary BBC Proms celebration in the Royal Albert Hall. And by the way, of course, this all took place in the Royal Albert Hall during these occasions, which, yeah, you can watch those concerts on BBC iPlayer if you want to see the Doctor Who at the Proms concerts that they did to celebrate Doctor Who. And then we have Who's Doctor Who, which is a special documentary where Tom Baker did a documentary back in the 70s where he talked about his time as the Doctor as part of a Who's Doctor Who documentary. I haven't seen it before, but I might check it out at some point because I think some have said it was really good documentary. Yeah, let me know if you have seen it. If you're somebody who has seen this documentary before, and then if you're somebody who's really brainy and loves science, you might want to check out the Science of Doctor Who because Professor Brian Cox, oh my god, this guy has a brain of science. Like, this guy will blow your mind, the amount of scientific stuff that he found out when it comes to Doctor Who. It will blow you. It'll probably. This is basically a special of Doctor Who. Is for basically mostly for the brainy people, for people who can take in a lot of information. Then yeah, this is definitely a special for you, where they're looking at the science of Doctor Who, and there's a lot of information in there, especially for people who have got big brains and they can take on the information. And trust me, this is definitely a program for you. And yeah, I think that's the majority of the stuff, I think. Oh yeah, there's also the bedtime story with David Tennant. They've done that. And then there's also Total Doctor Who, where they've got the two series of Total Doctor Who. As you can see, they're caught up with David Tennant. Obviously, very obviously well known for Jackie Tyler. But then you've got some of the stars, Russell T Davies, and they actually catched up with some of the guest stars for each of the episodes as part of Total Doctor Who. Which, by the way, this was a CBBC show back in Series 1, well, basically back in Series 2, Series 3 days, which was essentially 2006, 2007, when they did the whole Total Doctor Who for CBBC, and it only lasts 2 series, but it would have been, yeah, I was hoping it was going to last, but unfortunately it didn't, so it was not particularly, it didn't really go well for CBBC, but who knows, maybe something like this would come back at some point, and we'll get something similar to this for the new era of Doctor Who. You never know, maybe we will. But nevertheless, Total Doctor Who, if you want to see the 25 episodes they did, then you'll have an opportunity to see, to be able to watch the entirety of the 2 series of Total Doctor Who if you want to catch up with that one-time spin-off from CBBC where they celebrated all things Doctor Who. But there you go. So that is the Whoniverse. For those who want to experience the Whoniverse, as you can see, there's a lot of content in there, a lot of stuff to basically take in and basically just experience. Really, there's a lot. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out the Whoniverse if you're new to Doctor Who. There's a lot of content there, a lot of classic Who to watch, a lot of previous revival Who to watch, a lot of spin-offs and shows, behind the scenes shows that they've put out on there, and documentaries to check out if you're a fan of Doctor Who and you want to see how they make Doctor Who and basically learn from the actors about what they think of Doctor Who. And trust me, this is as I said before, it's the best package for any new Doctor Who fan who has not seen Doctor Who. This is the place to be, to see every Doctor, every companion, every enemy. This is literally the best place to see all things Doctor Who. If you haven't watched any of the classic Who, this is definitely the best package you can see lots of Doctor Who and explore a lot of content that Doctor Who has to offer. So there you go. So that's pretty much the Whoniverse on BBC iPlayer. So let me know if you're planning to watch the Whoniverse on BBC iPlayer over the if you're planning to check out the Whoniverse over the Easter weekend or in the run up to the new series. Let me know in the comments if you're a new Doctor Who fan, you found this useful, because I would imagine you did, because there's a lot of content here to just explore and see and everything, and it's just so much Doctor Who, and all you need is a BBC account, and then once you've registered a BBC account, you sign in with it, and you can basically just start streaming right there and then. That's all you need, a BBC account, and boom, you're in. So yeah, I'll leave links in the description if you want to make a BBC account, along with the Whoniverse page on BBC iPlayer for those who are watching this on a web browser or on their phones or their tablets. Definitely use the link and start viewing and start watching Whoniverse, because there's a lot of content there for you to catch up on before the new series, which kicks off 11th of May. So that is pretty much the Whoniverse, everybody, and I'll be looking forward to having a look at some of the surprises that BBC has for Doctor Who fans this Easter. We'll probably have like a Whoniverse special covering all the surprises from Easter that BBC dropped for Doctor Who, and and I've also got some continuity for Easter to release over the weekend as well. So definitely expect some continuity to release from Easter Saturday tomorrow, as well as we're going to have some Easter continuity releasing during the week for those who want to see the continuity for the BBC and ITV. But unfortunately, you won't be able to see Channel 4 because, I haven't set up my Sky yet. And my Sky hasn't really been setting up properly, so we're going to have to miss Channel 4 in the meantime. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all in another Whoniverse episode soon. So.